Your soulmate is in a deep depression. They are dying of regret for not telling you that they tested positive for. My beloved child, stop for a moment, because the message you are about to hear carries a truth your soulmate has been struggling to face. They have been carrying something silently, replaying old conversations in their mind, wondering why they never found the courage to tell you what was happening. And now, the regret has become impossible for them to ignore. Don't skip this, because something huge is waiting for you, and the most unexpected part is that this story is not simply about a test result. It is about the moment they realized how deeply they had been hiding their emotions from the one person they could never truly forget. Stay till the end, because there is one realization they have reached that could completely change the way you understand their silence. There was a moment when your soulmate received information that made them sit quietly and think about you. Suddenly, memories came rushing back, the words they never said, the message they almost sent, the moment they chose silence instead of honesty. They began asking themselves one painful question: what if I had told them everything sooner? My beloved child, this is where the story becomes shocking. Their deepest regret may not be what you initially think. Behind the silence is an emotional confession they have been afraid to reveal, and it connects directly to why they have been pulling inward. Don't skip now. Stay till the end, because the next part reveals what they believe they should have told you before everything became so complicated. And listen carefully, because something huge is waiting for you. The positive result mentioned in this message should not be taken as a confirmed medical diagnosis about your soulmate. It represents the uncertainty and emotional weight surrounding information they may be processing. What matters is the realization it triggered. They can no longer pretend that their feelings for you disappeared. They may have tried to act normal, stay distant, or convince themselves that time would erase everything, but deep inside, the memories remained. And now their regret is speaking louder than their pride. Don't skip, because the next revelation goes deeper. There is something they wish they could tell you face to face, and the words they have been rehearsing privately may be completely different from what you expect. My beloved child, there is a reason their silence suddenly feels different, and this is where the story takes an unexpected turn. Your soulmate has been thinking about one particular moment between you again and again, wondering whether that was the moment they should have stopped pretending and finally told you everything. Something they learned recently forced them to look at their life differently, and instead of feeling certain, they became overwhelmed by everything they had left unsaid. Don't skip, because something huge is waiting for you. Stay till the end, especially if you have ever wondered why someone who cared so deeply could suddenly become distant. Their silence may have been hiding a storm of emotions, regret, and one confession they were never prepared to make. Then came the thought they could not escape: what if they had known? That single question changed the way they remembered you. They started remembering your kindness, your patience, the little things you did that they once considered ordinary. Now those memories feel priceless to them. They may have imagined reaching out countless times, typing a message, deleting it, opening your conversation, closing it again, and wondering whether you would even want to hear from them. And here is the shocking revelation: the information connected to the positive result may have made them realize that waiting for the perfect moment was a mistake. They suddenly understood that some truths become heavier when they remain unspoken. Don't skip. Stay till the end, because their biggest regret is about to be revealed, and it has everything to do with you. If this message is speaking directly to your heart, take a moment to share what you genuinely feel, because sometimes putting emotions into words can make them easier to understand. And if you want to stay connected to messages like this, subscribe so you do not miss what comes next. Now listen closely. Your soulmate's deepest regret may not simply be that they kept information from you. It may be that they allowed fear, hesitation, and pride to convince them that you would always be there later. Something inside them is now saying, "Should have told them when I had the chance." Don't skip this moment. Something huge is waiting for you, because in the next revelation, we go straight into the confession they have been carrying silently, the words they wish they could finally say without fear. My beloved child, what happened next changed the entire meaning of their silence. Because your soulmate finally stopped running from the question they had been avoiding. They looked back at everything between you and realized that the hardest part was not what they had learned, but the fact that they had not trusted you enough to share what was happening inside their heart. Don't skip this. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and the next realization is more emotional than you may expect. They remembered every time you tried to understand them, every time they became quiet instead of explaining themselves, and every opportunity they allowed to pass because they thought they could speak tomorrow. But now, tomorrow feels like a promise they should never have relied on. Then something inside them broke open emotionally, not because they had suddenly forgotten everything, but because they finally understood the value of honesty. They began imagining your reaction if they had told you sooner. Would you have stayed? Would you have listened? Would you have held their hand through the uncertainty? Those questions kept returning. And here is the surprising revelation: they are beginning to understand that what they truly needed was not someone to solve everything for them. They needed someone who would simply know the truth. Someone who would look at them without judgment. Someone who would say, "You never had to carry this alone." My beloved child, that is why your memory keeps appearing in their thoughts. Don't skip, because the next moment reveals the sentence they have been silently wishing they could hear from you. And now, stay till the end, because this is where their regret becomes deeply personal. They are realizing that they may have spent too much time protecting their image instead of protecting the connection they shared with you. They wanted to appear strong, composed, and unaffected, but privately they were struggling with emotions they could not organize. The information they received became a mirror, forcing them to confront everything they had postponed. Something huge is waiting for you in the next part, because your soulmate is approaching the one truth they have resisted the longest. They still care about what you think, they still remember what you shared, and somewhere inside them, they still wish they had been brave enough to tell you the truth when the opportunity first appeared. My beloved child, the moment they thought they had finally understood their own feelings, one unexpected realization pulled them even deeper into their memories of you. They discovered that regret was not really about one conversation, one message, or one piece of information. It was about every moment they chose silence when their heart was asking them to be honest. Don't skip. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and this next revelation changes the emotional meaning behind everything you have heard so far. They started wondering whether you would have treated them differently if you had known what they were privately experiencing. And that question became impossible to silence. Then came the thought that shook them most. Maybe you never needed them to be perfect. Maybe you only needed them to be real. They remembered your patience, your presence, and the moments when you seemed to understand them without demanding an explanation. Suddenly, all those memories felt different. They began imagining one conversation where they could finally sit across from you and say everything without pretending. No dramatic performance. No carefully chosen image. Just the truth. And if you have ever felt that someone was hiding their real emotions behind distance, stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. The most surprising part is that their regret appears connected to something they believe they should have said much earlier. If this message resonates with you, share it with someone who may need a reminder that honest communication matters, and subscribe if you want to stay connected to future messages like this. Now listen carefully, because this is the point where your soulmate's private thoughts become impossible to ignore. They may have spent so much time wondering how you would react that they forgot one simple truth: they could never control your response, but they could control whether they were honest. That realization has changed something inside them. Don't skip now. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because the next part moves closer to the confession itself. The truth they have been carrying, the regret they have been hiding, and the emotional reason they may finally feel ready to stop pretending that everything is fine. My beloved child, there is one thought your soulmate keeps returning to, and this time they cannot push it away. They keep asking themselves why they waited so long to be honest with the person whose presence once made them feel understood without having to explain every emotion. Don't skip this, because something huge is waiting for you. The information they received may have shaken their perspective, but the deeper shock came afterward, when they realized how many things they had left unsaid. They remembered the conversations that ended too quickly, the messages they never sent, and the moments when they wanted to say, "Please understand what I am going through," but chose silence instead. Stay till the end, because their next realization reveals why your name keeps appearing in their thoughts when they are alone. They are beginning to understand something they once refused to accept. Sometimes a person does not realize the value of a connection until they are forced to slow down and look at everything honestly. And when they did, they saw you differently. They remembered the smallest details. The way you listened, the way you noticed when something was wrong, the way your presence could make an ordinary moment feel meaningful. That is when their regret became stronger. Not because they expect you to fix anything, but because they wonder whether they should have trusted you enough to let you know the real story. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because there is one sentence they have imagined saying to you again and again. I should have told you sooner. But here comes the part they never expected. Their greatest fear is no longer simply telling you the truth, it is discovering that they waited so long that you may have already changed your heart. They wonder whether you would still listen, whether you would still recognize the person behind all that silence, and whether there is still a place for honesty between you. My beloved child, this is why their emotions feel so intense. They are not just remembering the past, they are confronting the possibility that one honest conversation could reveal everything they have been hiding from themselves. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, and the next part takes us directly toward the moment they finally decide whether to speak, reach out, and reveal what they have been carrying in silence. My beloved child, the silence is finally reaching its breaking point, because your soulmate has started imagining what would happen if they stopped hiding behind carefully chosen words and simply told you what was really happening inside them. Something about the recent news forced them to slow down, breathe, and look at the people and memories that truly mattered. And somehow, your face kept appearing in that quiet moment. Don't skip. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They remembered how many times they wanted to reach out but convinced themselves that they should wait for a better moment. Yet now they are realizing that waiting can sometimes create a distance that becomes harder to cross. Their regret is no longer staying quietly in the background, it is becoming a question they desperately want answered. Is it too late to finally be honest? Then they imagined you sitting across from them, listening without interruption. In that imagined conversation, they finally said the things they had rehearsed privately, that they were scared, that they were confused, that they did not know how to explain everything, and that their silence was never proof that they stopped caring. They wondered whether you would understand why they withdrew instead of asking for support. And here is the surprising part. They are beginning to realize that the positive result mentioned in this story does not define their entire future. What matters emotionally is what it revealed about their priorities. It reminded them that life can change unexpectedly, and that honesty should not always be postponed. Don't skip this. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and their next realization reaches straight into the connection they have tried so hard to ignore. Now comes the thought that has been echoing through their mind: if I could have one more honest conversation with them, what would I say first? The answer is not complicated. They want you to know that you mattered more than their behavior ever showed. They want you to understand that distance did not erase the memories. And they want you to know that behind every unanswered message, every quiet moment, and every unexplained change was a person struggling to find the courage to be vulnerable. My beloved child, don't skip now. Something huge is waiting for you. Stay till the end, because the next part moves closer to the truth they have been building toward, the one thing they have never been able to say completely, even when they were alone with their own thoughts. My beloved child, something has shifted inside your soulmate, and this time it is not just another passing emotion. They have reached the point where pretending everything is normal feels harder than admitting what they truly feel. The news they received forced them to confront a question they had avoided for far too long. If you were standing in front of them right now, what would they finally tell you? Don't skip. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. Their mind keeps returning to one particular truth: they did not stay silent because you were unimportant. They stayed silent because the truth felt too personal, too emotional, and too difficult to explain. And now, they regret every moment when fear made the decision for them. Then came the realization that surprised even them. They understood that what they wanted from you was never perfection. They wanted understanding. They wanted the freedom to say, I am not okay emotionally, without feeling ashamed or judged. They wanted someone who could hear the truth without immediately trying to change them. And when they imagined that person, your presence appeared naturally in their mind. Stay till the end. Don't skip, because something huge is waiting for you. They are beginning to understand that the deepest part of their regret is not about what happened recently, it is about the trust they could have built with you if they had simply opened their heart earlier. Every unsent message now feels like another missed opportunity to be real with you. But now the story reaches its most emotional point. Your soulmate is beginning to rehearse the conversation in their mind, and there is one confession that keeps returning: I was afraid you would see me differently if you knew everything. That sentence explains more than their silence ever could. They feared losing your respect. They feared becoming a burden. They feared that revealing their private struggle would change the way you looked at them. But somewhere along the way, they discovered something powerful: hiding the truth did not protect the connection, it only created distance. My beloved child, don't skip. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. The next moment brings us closer to the decision they have been avoiding. The moment when they must choose between remaining silent or finally allowing you to see the person behind the silence. My beloved child, the moment your soulmate has been imagining is finally becoming real in their mind, the moment when they stop rehearsing the conversation and actually allow themselves to picture telling you everything. Don't skip. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They have realized that the most painful part was never simply keeping information private, it was believing they had to carry every emotion alone. The recent test result may have brought uncertainty into their thoughts, but it also forced them to recognize something much deeper. They missed the feeling of being completely honest with you. And now they are wondering whether one sincere conversation could finally close the distance created by all those unspoken words. For the first time, they are imagining what it would feel like to look directly at you and say, "There is something I should have told you a long time ago." They imagine explaining the confusion, the fear, the hesitation, and the reason they kept stepping backward whenever their emotions became too intense. But then comes the most surprising realization: they do not actually want sympathy from you. They want you to understand them. They want you to know that their silence was never meant to make you feel unimportant. Stay till the end. Don't skip, because something huge is waiting for you. They are beginning to see that sometimes the strongest connection is not built by hiding imperfections. It is built when two people can finally be honest about what they are experiencing. And now, my beloved child, the final thought before this story moves forward is the one that has left them completely emotional. What if they were waiting for me to tell the truth too? That question has changed everything. They are looking at your connection from a different perspective, realizing that perhaps both of you were waiting for the other person to make the first move. They remember the moments when you seemed ready to listen, and they wonder whether they misunderstood your silence just as much as you misunderstood theirs. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because this is no longer only about what your soulmate learned, it is about what they are finally ready to admit. And the next chapter moves directly toward the truth they have been afraid to speak aloud.